Um, it was definitely a change. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely different. Cause like
For the better, right? I mean,
yeah, and plus like, I mean I'm an artist, so like and I always look at it as like there's the artist and then there's the person. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of motherfuckers know DJ.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Like a lot of motherfuckers know DJ, a lot of motherfuckers know Tusick, and now people are learning about Gray and knowing who Gray is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you you can even see it in my Instagram page. Like as Tusick Jackson, if you'd have looked at my Instagram page
Yeah.
then and then you look at my Instagram page now as Gray Jackson, it's a totally different vibe. It's a totally different feel to it.
Yeah.
So you just updated the brand, so to speak,
Yeah.
a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
of
I
course
mean,
everybody goes through rebranding,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it was more than just rebranding for me. It was a part of growing. Like
Mm.
I've always been trying to move forward and take a step forward and take a step towards something better, and I felt like I couldn't do that shit as Too Sick. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
because I felt like I was chained to, you know what I'm saying, my background, or chained to old ways, or chained just how my mindset was at a certain time. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm not about to be that nigga that's just, I'm not going to P. Diddy this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I grow up a little bit more and I get into a different mindset and then, I'm no longer Gray Jackson. I'm, whoop-de-whoop.
But you have, I mean, every artist has the right to change, their name, and this is.
But
You
yeah,
know,
I mean,
it's-
I was
change is good.
Too Sick Jackson for how long?
Yeah.
Okay, I made the name when I was 18, but like officially, like being here in the scene and stuff,
Yeah.
like I've only been in the scene for like 2 years,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
you know, and you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do after I'm Gray Jackson for 2 years? Am I gonna change my name then? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like with Gray, I just feel like I could grow and adapt more.
Yeah, and I
You
mean,
know?
it's good to kind of like have this little phase right here where you want to evolve and become something, better, and give yourself more freedom artistically. To have this happen early in your career, rather than like down the line when you have so much to your name,
Yeah.
and people really 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 do know you, and some people might not even want you to change to it.
Yeah.
Like right now I think people can adjust.
I had that moment.
I've
though.
certainly adjusted, so I'm not like calling you Tusick, or like when I'm thinking, oh wait a minute, I know I can give this beat to Tusick. No, I can give this beat to Gray.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But yeah, like it was just about growth and balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you've heard, like, I don't know, like if you've been to some of the like most recent shows I've done as Gray Jackson or whatever, like if you've heard the acapella I do,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like the Gray Jackson acapella I do, you know what I'm saying? I explain,
to start the set,
yeah, like
Yeah.
I explain, who I am. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's really what it was, just growth and balance. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
there's so much has happened since the Bleach tape drop, and like
Fuck.
that,
True,
that,
God
that
love, for
Bleach
sure.
tape was like a favorite of mine when it first came out, and it still is. And I love like
Bleach.
when we play that when we're like doing the show together, like those songs still get the crowd jumping.
Jesus Christ,
Yo,
bro.
everybody's-
that last joint though. That
Yeah,
last
yeah.
show?
Strack's birthday party.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was hype, man.
crazy.
That
as
was really-
fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I
a
did
lot
not
of love.
expect that.
A lot of
I
love in
got
that
there
building.
at the
that
last
night.
second and stuff. So. I
But,
like the last bit.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess we got to catch up and see. Like, there's so much that like, we
Yeah,
gotta
there's
cover.
a lot. Yeah, first off,
Oh, yeah.
let's talk about the last from like if we talk about stuff that happened from I guess like the last show until now, because you right now you've been on the most times, I think you've been on. This is your third time on the show. You're on
Oh
for your
yeah, because I did
interview.
the. Oh yeah, I
the
sung
anime-
Master Player on here.
Oh, you guys had the anime thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
anime
yeah,
extravaganza. So
yeah, because
it's like
I sung your
it's
mans.
like
It's cool.
I don't know if you sunned them, but yeah, you sunned them. But it's like after it, I want to say I had to go back and think about it, and I know I spoke with you lately about it.
I mean, opinions change, but you
yeah.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to,
I'm sure.
I was agreeing with him like, yo, Tati is a bitch, but then I watched like pretty much a good majority of Naruto.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, just go back and look up the anime extravaganza, and you'll
Yeah,
know
fam,
exactly
there's
what we're
gonna be
talking
a lot
about.
of sunning in there, by the way.
Or if you have no
Just
idea,
saying,
like I
letting you
do,
know, fam.
about any of these names
I
they're
mean,
dropping,
shout out
just
Master
tune out
Player, I
and you
guess.
tune back
Yeah.
in a few minutes. Yeah, just
Yo,
Hey,
but-
he just had a listening party. Didn't he just drop something?
Yeah, he shout out to him and
Shout out to
Dream
Master
to
Play.
Reality too. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a dope party.
Yeah.
We're working on the footage now to show on the page and stuff. So
coming
word.
soon.
got like a lot of photos, a lot of video. So hopefully we'll get that up coming up soon. But anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Anime.
Yeah, and Gray, sorry, over here.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Aw,
It's on
come
through my
on, Joe.
tongue. I know. I can't help it. Like,
It's
it
all
is-
good.
like
Anybody
I've
had to
been
get it
knowing.
wrong. It
Like,
couldn't have been Joe.
yeah,
It was
you're right. As great as people think I am, I'm not that great. Like I said, I'm the idiot savant without the savant.
Yeah,
So,
that's what you said.
You should
so Gray,
just keep it the idiot savant.
so Gray said, Itachi's a bitch,
he is.
and so I
It
had
won't
to
be
go
moved.
back, and it's like after watching the episode, I'm like, you know what? If Itachi didn't redeem himself, I would say yeah, he's a bitch. But after that, and just understanding there's a quote in Metal Gear Solid 3 that really stuck out to me, and it said like in times of war, there's no right or wrong, there's only the mission. And so for me, with Itachi, it was like, yo, if that was his mission, it was like, yo, like that trumps everything. If there was a way you could go back and you could change it with your family, but at the time, in those times, it was like, yo, I don't see how he could have done it. So I mean, that
They
was my
all would
my
have
whole.
died. That's exactly how he could have done it. Everybody would have died. At least he would have died with some fucking dignity. But that's besides the point. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I don't know. Like, I mean, on that topic or whatever, like, my opinion doesn't change because at the same time, you know what I'm saying? For my anime heads out there, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But, like, at the same time, it's like, if the village tells you to do something such as kill your whole family, that just shows weakness to them. Because you fear a family of people. You know what I'm saying? You fear
Yeah.
just a family. And you at war with whole other countries, but you fear a family. You know what I'm saying? And as minuscule as that sounds, I understand that could have led to some other crazy shit, but it's just like
Yeah.
that showed fear. And in my mind, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
If
but-
somebody told me to kill my entire family and everybody I cared about, but you can save like, I don't know, your son, or you can save whoever,
Right.
then we all dying. Like, that's just me. Like,
Yeah, but in some ways, I guess you could also say that the fear was valid. You know, at least that's the way I seen it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
Fear is definitely valid.
yeah, because the
Yes.
Uchiha ain't nothing to fuck with, but at the same time, it's still, it's like it was wrong on both ends.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
wrong on both ends. Like, you don't, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't turn on your family, and you also can't, you know what I'm saying, turn your back on the military you serve.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
that's that. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
next
about that.
question in my
Next.
most rapper-esque way. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, let's see what else. Like just dealing with the whole, like I feel like for me, like I said, like on the show, I said I found about you. I feel like I found about you late. Like, you know, you could say I was there from day one, but it's like, yo, you had stuff before then, and then with the Bleach project, it was like, yo,
Anything before Bleach is non-existent to me.
really?
Yeah.
You feel like everything started with Bleach. I mean,
I
you
mean, it really,
you
like-
really kind of
I'm sorry. I'm
put it.
No, you're fine.
my bad. I'm
Because I
being a
mean,
father.
Bleach is a really good project, and you really get a lot of great insight, and there's some joints on there where it kind of feels like a real debut. You know, you really
Right.
get a proper introduction of what's inside this person's head, and what their day-to-day life is like. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, is that how you kind of felt with Bleach? I mean, like, because you just said that, you know, everything's kind of non-existent prior to that.
It's more or less
I
like
can't say that though. I can't agree. Well, I'll
like
go
okay,
into it,
so like before Bleach dropped, what was it like? Cage Bird Sing?
though. Cageberg sings. Yeah, but there's also all the other features that you had.
Yeah, and then there's like all the songs, and it's like
Yeah, because when you say like you didn't exist, it's like that's just like saying like joints like Feel It with Sam Day didn't exist. Joints like Bout It Didn't exist. Joints like
About It dropped when Ignite dropped. Just to
Oh, okay,
put that
okay.
out there.
Oh, my fault, my bad.
But like, I
Um,
mean, even then, like, I mean, yeah, they exist, but like to me, it's just like I guess for me, it's just like I didn't matter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like, yeah, I'm working and I'm doing all these songs and I'm working on other people's beats and I'm doing all this, you know what I'm saying? But it's like seeing, like, if you understood my mind state then as opposed to my mind state now, you know what I'm saying? I feel like some people would feel the same way just because it's just like my mind state then when I was doing like I Wish I Cared and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like songs like Nervous and shit like that. Like, yeah, I cared about music and I wanted to do music, but I wasn't driven or focused like I am now.
Right, right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't, you know,
It became serious with around Bleach.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bleach. Like as I told Bush, the first session we got in there, I said I'm trying to make Bleach like the last project I do as an unknown artist, as a unknown like name out here. I'm trying to make Bleach like it's called Bleach for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm cleansing myself of bad habits. You know what I'm saying, towards my career. I'm cleansing myself of bad mindsets towards my career or towards my life or whatever. And it's also cleansing myself of like the thoughts I had on the past, present, and future, if you caught that narrative. You know what I'm saying? So like it was just for me like Bleach meant everything. Because I mean at the time around Bleach, like give me a second, because I finally get to fucking talk about this.
Okay.
Because like I never like, it's not like I dropped Bleach and was able to like talk about it in full until like now. Because
Really?
it's like, nah, like
Wow.
because like I came here before I dropped Bleach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then Bleach dropped like a month later, and then
Yeah.
like I did an interview on Wozo with
Yeah.
Shane. Shout out
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah.
I did an interview at Wozo with Shane, but that was before Bleach dropped.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I really wasn't like talking. Really wasn't exposing too much because I want people to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But now that people have heard it, and you know what I'm saying, it's kind of a thing now.
Yeah.
I get to talk about it in full. Like, bro, okay, I started working on Bleach. Okay, I dropped Cage Bird Sing, and people that overlooked that project, and I had worked my ass off for it. Like, it was the first time me making my own beats. It was my first time me recording at the house, like putting out a full project of like all in-house shit.
Yeah.
And it just got like people just like whatever. Like, of course I was new to the scene, and that's expected with a new dude. Like people was like, who is this dude? Like, okay, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I felt overlooked, and I felt like people wasn't giving me my respect and that type of shit.
yeah.
And of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna get salty about it. I'm not gonna feel no type of way. I'm just gonna put my head down and work my ass off.
That's the way to
Right.
do it.
And it was always a joke about me doing a tie-dye tape, and ironically I'm not wearing tie-dye today, but it was always a joke about me doing a tie-dye tape, and I said I wanted to do a tie-dye tape and do a Bleach tape, and I was like, Bleach tape will be like the darker, you know, the darker music, the more real, you know what I'm saying, introspective
Yeah.
type music and everything. And then, you know what I'm saying, it got done and we dropped it. But like Bleach for me, like I started working on Bleach like December 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and at the time I was with this girl, and you know what I'm saying, like shit wasn't working. Like it was like a rough situation at the house between me and her, and then like I'm also trying to make this music shit happen, and you know what I'm saying, I also had some real shit in my life happening at the time, just shit like with family and stuff. So like all that I cared about was getting Bleach done. You know what I'm saying? Like after a while, like that was the only thing that kept me going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I never had a project like that. Like I wasn't gonna, like I felt like if I didn't get Bleach done and put it out, I was gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
was like a real purpose.
Yeah, like I didn't feel that way with Cage Bird Sing or any of the, you know, little projects I put out before then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with Bleach, it was like, it was really official just because I was paying for studio time, and I was also like, you know what I'm saying, just put my all into it.
Yeah. You're really investing in yourself.
Yeah, like investing in myself and just putting everything into it, because like I was working on Bleach. I started in December because I had made the decision like, fuck it, I'm really gonna work on a full body.
Right.
And then in January, I had, my first session was in January, I think. And I
Okay.
had recorded my verse and the hook to Wake Up Rich.
Okay.
The
Shout out to Sam D and Sav.
Hey, shout out Sav. Shout out Sam Day as well. I did the first verse and the hook to Wake Up Rich. I had did I Just Want to Live. I did the first verse and hook to Ignorant.
Okay.
And then me and D Smith, like we had only been friends for a little bit of time, but we'd only been friends for like a month before Gold Teeth was written.
Wow. That's what's up.
Yeah, and then like we got in and did Gold Teeth or whatever. So then like okay, so I got these songs or whatever, and I'm working and I'm doing stuff, and you know what I'm saying, and shit was getting bad at home. So like when I like in January is when I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm about to make this project one of the best shit I ever did. You know what I'm saying? Like so far, like I'm gonna make this like my best work so far. I'm gonna really put my life into this.
Yeah.
And
Put that effort.
like once I said that, like a bunch of crazy shit started happening. Like my car broke down. It took me like so much money, like a crazy amount of money to fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Car broke down. I was having issues at the house. You know what I'm saying? My grandma got sick. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Me and my uncle getting into it. Like it was a bunch. It was a bunch of shit that was just going on that like.
Went into the album.
And went to
like,
the song. Cause I remember that
yeah.
you talked about a lot of
Yeah.
stuff you told us ran on the song. I can't remember which one it was though.
Oh, no aim.
Yeah.
Where I was
that's
like,
what
me
it
and my
Yeah.
uncle bumping heads. We about to catch a fade quick.
Yep.
Oh yeah, all that. Look, and all that shit facts too. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? To be honest, if my grandma hadn't walked in the room that day, there would be no Crazy Jack shit right now. My uncle's probably gonna kill me. But yeah, like in January 2017, I was like, fuck it. I'm really about to put my life into this. I'm really about to
Yeah.
take my time, really put my head down and go for it. And like then more shit started happening, as I said, like shit at the house, shit with my family, shit, you know, with my car, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was about to lose my job. Like, there was a bunch of crazy shit going on. Then, like, there's shit with the set that was going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Avenues was going through some shit. So, like, it was just some crazy stuff going on. And,
Yeah.
like, I want to say March 17th is when we dropped Go Teeth.
Yeah.
And that was crazy because, like, that was the first song, like, you know what I'm saying? Me working with somebody outside of the Avenue.
Yeah.
Me, you know what I'm saying, really putting out a song I like made the beat to,
Yeah.
and like people was fucking with it. So I was like, okay, cool.
And
Yeah,
when
that's
was
what's up.
like the first time you performed some of those new joints?
First
Like,
time
I mean, was that feeling different from
dude,
stuff
first
that was prior before the Bleach?
first
era?
time I performed Gold Teeth with Smith, that was nuts because nobody
Yeah.
was expecting it.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh shit, like what? Like it was crazy. It felt good. It felt great. You know what I'm saying?
Did you guys do that recently? Like, yeah, I think you guys did, right?
Yeah,
Over at
Gold
Strikes?
Teeth?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was crazy because I didn't
Yeah.
expect to perform that.
Yeah,
he showed
yeah,
up. He
yeah,
was
I
like, "You
remember.
trying to do that?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it, let's run with it." But yeah, so drop Gold Teeth. Literally the next month, me and that girl break up. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I was with her for 2.5 years, living in the house with her. You know what I'm saying? So we break up. I got moved back in with my grandma.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, moved back in with my grandma. I'm sitting up here fucking sick, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll keep it a whole buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, the night we broke up, I'm riding back to my grandma's house, crying my eyes out like a bitch. Like,
Okay.
whole,
Hey,
like,
man, it
you know what I'm
happens.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
cry
man.
about, like, because I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? But, like, then something clicked in my head. I was like, you know what? I can't stop what the fuck I'm doing just because I'm hurt. I can't stop just
Right,
what the fuck
yeah,
I'm doing just because
yeah.
I got all this shit, crazy shit going on in my life. And then after a while, Bleach became the only thing I gave a fuck about. Like, I ain't give a fuck about work. I ain't give a fuck about the person next to me. I barely give a fuck about myself. So the only thing I cared about was getting Bleach done.
I mean, like, it sounds like Bleach would have been an entirely different project if you didn't go through all this shit that you went through in that span of time that like with your uncle, with your grandma, with your girl, with everything else, your car troubles and all that. Like, it seemed like that really added like some fuel to the fire, if anything.
Yeah, what's meant to be
to-
is meant to be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
what
mean,
everything
it
happens for a
happens
reason.
to the best of us, man, and you know, especially. I mean, it kind of feels weird to say, but that's when like the best art comes out.
Oh
of.
yeah,
It's just,
yeah. All the greatest art
Nobody
comes
wants to
from
listen
pain.
to like happy songs all the damn time. People want to
Yeah,
listen
you
to
know what
some
I'm saying?
shit they
Like,
can relate
what's
to.
you
Yeah.
know what's crazy
You
is
know?
the homie. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want people to think that he's some kind of morbid person. You know what I'm saying? But the homie was telling me, like, and that's I guess it's partial, like a part of the reason why I have this like complex on music every time I start writing or every time I like create. But the homie told me one time, he's like, nobody want to hear a song where you sad all the time. Like,
Right.
nobody want to continuously hear about your problems or whatever. I want to hear the best you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I was like, fuck. Like, I don't know how to make super happy music because everything I write, I live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just gonna fake being happy. I can't fake a smile. You know what I'm saying? For
You just say
y'all,
the
but
difference stuff to happy type beats. Then you know you can still say the sad stuff. That's what Kurt Cobain did. Kurt Cobain
Yeah.
had some really sad
I
shit
was
that he
thinking
was
about
saying.
that too. I was like
Like a
yeah,
lot of
he's been
those
so
rock
to the bottom.
artists have a lot of the '90s alt rock bands got some depression shit, but it's on
the
some like
grunge era.
up tempo, like happy type stuff. It's like like Alice in Chains, another group that I
Yeah.
think is like
Oh,
really popular
yeah.
for you. It's like yo, this is some depression shit, but it sounds really upbeat, like
But
Wood.
even then, that's just like, to me, that's just like, that's still like fake. That's faking a smile
it's
to
not
me.
fake. It's like
I feel like that's still faking
You
a smile
gotta-
because it's just
you gotta
like.
throw a little balance, or I mean, but at
I
the
mean,
same
yeah,
time, it could be your thing too. You know,
But yeah,
it
but
could-
that's
it
the,
could
but that's the
be
thing though, because
your-
even because okay, for with Bleach, even though like I was going through it and I was writing what the fuck I was living and everything like that, you still gotta. I just want to live. You
Yeah.
still gotta ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You still
yeah.
gotta go teeth. You still gotta watch and you still gotta wake up rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like you still got those fun tracks or whatever, but you know what I mean? It's just like at the time I wasn't trying to write no happy shit because I was fucked up. You
Right,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
No
But
doubt.
like as I said, I made it a point just to make it, you know, as good as I could possibly make it with what I had.
Right.
And
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think, you know, you even if it's like a majority of what you do is one-sided, you got to throw in those little bits and pieces in there just for that one crowd to have that one song, you
Yeah.
know, or you could just balance it all out and you just have like a mix of stuff and
Yeah.
kind of like the game does or whatever, you know, when he literally like goes every place. But I don't get too much of that vibe. I think it actually, you know, gives you a lot more character, you know, with what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think that's what, like with you, I mean, we've had a lot of discussions and you are very self-aware,
yeah.
especially with the music, and it's something where like a lot of people are just not thinking that deeply with
Yeah.
with what their craft is.
Yeah.
And so with, you know, you always got to look at it from all angles. And
Definitely.
You
I feel
definitely
like,
do
I
that.
mean, well, shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very introspective person.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, you are.
I'm a very, like, self-analyzing person. Like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And, like, yeah, I have my ways. Like, I'm stubborn as fuck.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I will fully say I'm stubborn as fuck. So when I stand on something, you ain't moving me.
Right.
Even if you're right, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's been times where I've been completely fucking wrong, but you know what? I've stood on this for so long, I ain't moving from shit. Like, I'll probably know I'm wrong, but I won't move. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's just how my mind works sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? Eventually, I come
Yo.
around and be like, you know what? That was fucked up. I shouldn't have.
It's so crazy that what you just said, because as soon as you said that, another thing you said on that episode was like one of your favorite anime characters is Kakashi.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the same words that you just said about yourself. Is the same thing that you just described Kakashi. He's like, he's a dude that stands he believes in what he says. He believes, like, when he says something, that's what he believes, and
Yeah.
you're not going to waver from that. So it's like, man, that's so impressive that how much impact that character has had in your life.
Oh yeah, just like, I mean, with anything, like with anybody, you know what I'm saying, in general, like I feel like if you say something and you believe in it, you know what I'm saying, you stand on that, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that I stand on and I believe in that I won't be moved off of just because that's just how I look at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most people say that's stubborn or you being ignorant or
Close
you know what I'm saying?
minded.
Yeah, you got a one-track mind or, you know,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
crazy
Right.
shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know no conqueror or no, you know what I'm saying, great man that, you know, got great from changing his fucking mind all the time.
Yeah,
Right,
from
yeah.
what somebody told him. to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
What's that song? Sicko Mode. Someone said, motherfucker. Someone
Someone
said.
said,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't
just
give a
gotta.
fuck.
The main thing is you gotta listen to your gut instinct. Like
Real
to
shit.
me, that's like the truest thing. Is whatever is inside that is like, you could call it instinct, whatever. You just gotta listen to that inner voice of yours. That's like that keeps talking to you,
Real
and
shit.
and,
And there's
Yeah.
also
and that
just,
makes sense to you.
and it's also just one of those things where I gotta look at myself, just be like, bro, when like whatever decisions I make at the end of the day, can I look myself in the mirror and be like, I fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and it took me a while to get to that point where I'm
Right.
like, I can like today I can fully say like, I can look in the mirror and be like, look, you know what? I fuck with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we fucked up a little bit here and there, but I fuck with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's definitely one of those things where it's just about building yourself and growing, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not about like, yeah, I won't be moved on certain things, but I definitely understand that like progression is key.
Right. Definitely.
You know what I mean? And I guess that was, you know what I'm saying, just back to the main topic. Like, that was the thing about Bleach. Like, there was shit that I was not moving off of.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's still things that from that time that I'm not moving off of or
Right.
whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? I was still able to grow and learn and adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even now, like, I can look back and be like, okay, I was fucked up right here. You know, this needed to be worked on and that type of stuff. But, like, you know what I'm saying? There's just some core beliefs that you just don't fold on.
Yeah.
But you're not the only artist in the world that feel like that, you know, or everything that you're just saying, you know. So it's part of your process, and you just got to follow that through, you know.
Definitely.
Like, and not, you know, and like I said before, you're self-aware so much that, like, that's why I'm really
It's
anxious.
stressful as fuck.
Yeah, but
I'm self-aware to the point where it's stressful. Like, I feel like, I mean, and shit, like, I mean, we all are.
yeah,
you know what
all
I'm saying?
creators
you know what I'm saying?
are
We're like
worst
all,
critics, and
you know what I'm saying?
that,
Like,
yeah.
we're our biggest critic, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we're our, you know, biggest enemy in a sense. Like, you
Yeah.
stand in your own way, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
honestly, like, there's been way too many times I was standing in my own way.
overthinking shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with Bleach, like, okay,
Right.
we were supposed to drop in June.
Yeah,
Bleach was supposed to drop in June,
Okay.
but like,
Yeah.
I was like so caught up with life and shit and all this other stuff and letting shit get in my head, I didn't drop and said fuck it.
Right.
Let me ask you this real quick. I mean, you don't have to mention any names, but do you have people around you that, like, you kind of, that are, like, in that inner tight circle when you, like, play them new music, or you, like, I mean, I know you just been saying that, you know, you stand on what you believe in, but is there a few times where you're like, man, like, if I didn't have this extra perspective, this other person's perspective, just whatever it is with how you're handling, whether it be performing or just setting yourself up for other things, like, has that happened before? Or?
What do you mean, just like someone else being like,
Yeah,
Yo,
and
I
taking
think
somebody's advice and, like, rolling with
I
it.
mean, yeah, I take advice, you know what I'm saying? I definitely listen, but like, there's just certain, like, it's like this. Like, I'm not about to take house building advice from a doctor.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to take, you know what I'm saying, car advice
Yeah.
from somebody who work at Kroger. Like,
Right.
if you don't got proof of that you know how to do this,
Mhm.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying, or if you don't got proof that you know what I'm saying, and especially if I ain't seen it, I'm
Yeah.
not about to listen to what the fuck you got to say to me. Like, there's so
Right.
many times I done been in a room, you know what I'm saying, I done been in a room where I've been talking about music, I've been talking about the process, or just talking about some new shit I'm working on, and then somebody who don't work on music at all,
Yeah.
or
You
somebody
can't really
who,
trust
or,
their
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
like,
or
you
somebody
can't-
who don't work in music at all, or
Yeah.
somebody who just a listener, or whatever. You should I?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, should I?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things, and like, I mean, you never know who gonna give you that one like little gem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because some shit just translate across the board, but it's just one of those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the book, was it Richest Man in Babylon? You know what I'm saying? This guy in the book is like investing his money in gemstones or whatever. And he's investing his money in gemstones so he can come back and sell the gemstones. But instead of going to the guy that knew about gemstones and that was selling jewelry and stuff like that, he went to a carpenter and lost his money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way I look at it. Like,
Right.
I'm not about to sit up here and listen to somebody who don't know what the fuck I got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not gonna take your car troubles to your accountant.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna take your
Yeah.
money problems to
my
a
mechanic.
to a
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nah. So I definitely take advice. I will say, okay, like, I mean, since we was talking about Bleach or whatever, I guess I'm kind of stuck on that, but we'll move on. I know.
No, I
We
mean, it's
try-
a project that, like, that's kind of resonated with a lot of people. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure it gets brought up a lot.
It blows my fucking mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Wasn't it voted like best album of 2017 or something like
On
that?
Knoxville Music Warehouse.
Yeah,
was
I
that
think so.
was,
That
was
was
that
it.
it? Or
That was crazy.
yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to everybody who voted.
Yeah, shout
That
out
was a
Knoxville
crazy.
Music
That was some
Warehouse.
crazy
You
shit.
was
Sterling
up
and
against some
everybody
stiff
over there.
competition.
Who was it? Naughty Taylor, Thilo
Howard-
Q, and Jay Bush.
And I think also wasn't it
TN.
TN? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Good projects
Yeah. It was
right
like
there,
it was some.
man.
It was a
Yeah,
lot of.
like,
lot
I
of-
mean,
rightfully
they all saw, like,
earned.
shout out to all of them because they solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I wasn't even like really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll probably tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? off the interview as to why I decided to actually push it. But you know what I'm saying? I really like when I first saw like the vote go up, like first off, the list for best albums of the year, like list of best albums, like top 17 in 2017 or some shit dropped or whatever. And I was an honorable mention. And I mentioned like if you like for those who like actually pay attention and listen to Still, you know what I'm saying? Like on the second verse of the first song, I say all my hard work and all I get is honorable mention.
Oh, okay. Right. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got an honorable mention. And like of course it was all ego. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it was all
You
ego.
gotta talk your shit every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a time and place.
Vent.
You know what I'm saying? But like, of course, it was all ego. But I was hot as fuck when I saw it was like Bleach Tape by 2 6 Jackson as an honorable mention. And I'm sitting here thinking, cause like I put in mad work. Not only did I drop Bleach Tape, but I dropped a song a week in December.
Yeah.
Right.
Like yeah, I was like, you got me fucked up. I'm a hard ass. Like I was like mad as fuck because I felt like I wasn't feeling the fruits of my labor. But then that vote thing came up, and at first like I was discouraged as fuck. I was like, man, I ain't got to put this shit out here for motherfuckers to vote. You know what I'm saying? Then there was some other shit that was going on. You know what I'm saying? And then like they was like, oh, you really about to whoop-de-whoop? I was like, bet, fuck it. So then I posted. I was like, yo, go vote for Bleach or whatever. I'm thinking motherfuckers not gonna vote. The next day, my girl texted me, was like, you up 74%. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck?
All the way up.
Yeah, so that shit was, mind blowing, and that showed me that was proof to me that people really listened and paid attention. And gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Cuz like of course we all had that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like as I said with Cage Bird Sing, when I dropped that shit, like everybody overlooked it. Nobody really paid attention to it. It was like whatever. New guy in the scene, no one gives a fuck about this project. I dropped Bleach. People was paying attention. People was listening. Like other artists that I didn't even knew, you know what I'm saying, like who liked my stuff was like giving me shout outs and shit like that from Bleach. So I started feeling like really accomplished. Like I really like, okay, like I'm really seeing the fruits of my labor now. And then after a while there was just this lull of nothingness. Like for me at least, like there was just this lull of like,
all right, so
I felt like I wasn't doing nothing.
So let's talk about like things that happened like after you being on the podcast. Well, one thing before we get to with that, how much flack and praise did you receive from the Krispy Kreme comment?
From what?
The Krispy Kreme comment.
The Dunkin' Donut shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my shit was blowing up, bro. When I said you don't love yourself if you go to Dunkin' Donuts, motherfuckers was hot. I said, look, and I posted on Facebook like a day after the interview. I said, Dunkin' Donuts is trash. Don't call my phone. Motherfuckers talking about some delete me. I said, bye. Like, the fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I called mad shit for that Dunkin' Donuts comment. But then again, like, I be saying some. Look, as I said, there's shit that I say that I stand on that I will be moved off of, and like some people don't like my opinion on shit, so then they get mad and they like yada yada yada. Like okay, there was a post that I made on Facebook where it was like it said one gotta go, and it was like I think it was Eminem, Drake, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, right? And I was like, Jay-Z gotta go, right? My little homie came on the fucking post and was going hard on me. It's like, you putting Drake over Jay-Z? You're saying Drake's better than Jay-Z? I was like, bro, you jumped to conclusions. I never said Drake was better than Jay-Z.
But it depends on, like, the context. It's like, is it for... I mean, for me, in my mind, it's like... Is it for a particular set that I gotta spin? Like, you know what I mean? Or you
okay, then see, but that's the way you think. So like, but that's the thing, though. Like, it's a common thing that Gray Jackson thinks Jay-Z is overrated. Like, I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan.
He said this on the show as well. He was like,
I remember this. Yeah.
He was like, yo, I was born in '93, so a lot of the raps that you guys like, love, I don't like. It was like, well, that's fine. That's your opinion.
See, like, man, but Wiggs was on my head though.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like,
I mean, Wiggs is a humongous Jay-Z.
See, but that's
fan.
the thing. But that's the thing though. Like of course we talked it out and shit. But Wiggs was on my head. Like, okay, so
shout out to Wiggs.
But what if somebody says some shit about Cudi? You know, to like Luna Ritz or to Benji or D. Like,
I mean, if they say some shit, if they say some shit about Cudi,
I'm not saying I feel that way. But
if they say some shit about Cudi to like Luna, or, you know what I'm saying, to Luna or Benji, then they gonna feel they type of way or whatever. I'm not the hugest Cudi fan, so like I can't be out here fucking. Yo, you can't say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's all about how they impacted your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And like the whole reason why like I don't I'm not gonna say I don't like Jay-Z, but like the whole reason why I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan is because like I didn't see a super hungry Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like again, I'm born in '93. By the time I heard of Jay-Z and really started paying attention to Jay-Z, like what out like
you grew up where? You grew up here, right?
I grew up in the South. So like
yeah, that's like, I mean, if you grew up in New York and you understand like the historical context of like just the way he kind of came into the game, if you were around that culture of like, you know, hearing him on, you know, what was he like freestyling over like, Clue? Yeah, on Clue's like show and Clue's mixtapes and all that stuff. Like you would kind of have a better understanding or following of him. Rather than like if you grew up in the South, more people in the South feel stronger about like say Wayne than they do in New York.
Exactly,
You
and
know?
like not even.
Am I fair to say that in the joint?
Yeah,
You-
but I
you
mean,
are,
it's
but
just
at the
like
same
but
time-
it's just like Kendrick Lamar to us. Like,
Yeah.
like okay, like as I said, Wiggs was on my head. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like me and Wiggs had a
It's all love,
conversation
though.
about
It's
it.
still
Yeah, I
love.
mean, yeah, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? But like, okay, so there was this list of like favorite rappers, like favorite female rapper, favorite trap rapper.
Yeah, I
favorite
remember- I
rapper,
remember that.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Wiggs was like, rapper you think is overrated. He said Kendrick Lamar. So I was like,
I've
whatever.
heard that take before from. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like then I'm looking at the list or whatever. So he was like, oh, you know, it was one of those repost things. So I reposted, and my overrated rapper just so happened to be Jay-Z. So he was
Right.
like, you crazy for saying that, and I'm like, same shit I said. Born in '93, don't see the hype.
Yeah.
First album I listened to by Jay-Z was American Gangster.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like,
at
and
that time,
if
and
you
by
say
that
something
time,
like
he was
that,
already
then it
Jay-Z.
changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Jay-Z always been Jay-Z, but like he was already Jigga. He was already Hove. He was already, you know what I'm saying, married to Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like he was already that dude. So like I never
Yo.
got
Like
to
for
see.
me, like Volume 2 was like the real kind of intro for me.
Like
you know?
I want to say, like by the time, what is it? I think it was In My Lifetime Volume 2 that had Money Cash Hold'em. That was when that came out in '98.
Yeah.
Money Cash Hold'em and Reservoir Dogs. That was the last time I listened to Jay-Z. Like I could say I heard
Oh, the
his
last
stuff.
time you
last
listened-
album that I listened to. Last album that I listened to from
Front to
Jay-Z
back?
up until, front to back, from until I want to say maybe American Gangster.
So you're saying like from when he dropped, what you said, In My Lifetime or the Volume 2?
Yeah, In My Lifetime Volume 2.
No, In My Lifetime was Volume 1, no?
Yeah.
Because Life at Times is Sean and Carter, and then it was Hard Knock Life Volume 2, no?
The one with the
no, it
album
was
where he
Volume
was
2
in
of
front of, the album in which he was standing in front of, was that a Bentley?
Yeah, that was Volume 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That wasn't-
Can I
that
Get
wasn't-
and-
Yeah, that was In My Lifetime?
No,
Was it In My
like,
Lifetime?
isn't In My Lifetime Volume
Hip
1?
hop heads.
Yeah. That was when he was standing on the front with
We,
the
we got to
with the
correct each
flashing
other.
rollie.
Huh?
That was when we was standing in the front flashing
Yeah,
rollie.
yeah,
Then
that one.
Then In My Lifetime Volume 2.
Yeah.
Right? So that's Volume 2.
I know what you mean.
I heard it was
It's the one with Hard
Volume-
Knock Life and all that. It was the 98. It dropped in 98.
Yes, yeah.
Can I Get and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
That? Yeah, okay.
Right.
Continue.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, that's I would say that's
So
the last time I
from
heard-
then, from that album until American Gangster, you listened to all those albums, like including Black Album. All
I hadn't listened to any of those
Oh,
albums.
you didn't listen to any.
Didn't listen because I was like,
See,
yo,
but that's the
I
thing,
was
like-
done with Jay.
I mean,
I
last
was
time
done-
I
I
was
was
here,
done with Jay. I was done with Jay.
But last time I
But
was
see,
here,
like
they
I
said
said,
that
that's
none of
the-
us are really
that's the-
Jay-Z fans. So
that's-
like, I was
but-
like, I didn't feel in danger.
Like, I don't mean to like take this elsewhere, but what about that time you didn't like about Jay?
I think
'Cause that's-
the climate of music was changing,
Right,
and it was like, yo, like I was
Def
I
Jam
was-
started to take over a
well,
little bit,
that-
like in
well,
a,
I mean,
in a
like
way.
Def Jam was always cool because it was Russ.
Yeah.
To me, Def
Yeah.
Jam was always cool, but it was like the way Jay-Z, the things that he's doing, like okay, on In My Lifetime Volume 1, he sampled "I Know What Boys Like."
Yeah.
It was like, if this is the way the hip hop is going, it's like I can't fuck with it.
Yeah. So when it started to
It
get a
was
little more
pop.
poppy,
Yeah, it was like,
yeah.
that's when I was like,
That's when it was starting to.
that's
You
when
were
they- that's
starting
when
to tune
that's when I
out.
started, tuning down.
Word.
But I mean,
yeah.
Black Album. I mean,
Black-
Black Album had those poppy joints. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm
like
trying
I
to think
said,
of another.
but you know, like I like Beans. I like some Bleak.
Yeah.
Like Young Guns was like cool, but it was like, yo, it was like Jay. It was like, props to him, but it's like, yo, Jay, like, it was like Reasonable Doubt. Was like that's a classic album to me. Volume 1, I started seeing it. Volume 2,
Yeah.
I really heard it, and it was like, yo, I'm good.
I mean, I remember when Black Album dropped, man. I was like, shoot, that was a moment for just and then seeing them sell out Madison
See,
Square.
but I wasn't even there.
Yeah,
so, like,
so that's the
what
thing.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like when you
that's
said
that's what I'm saying. Like,
American Gangster was that that first,
and that was what
real
2000, that was like
2007. Yeah,
Yeah, so like at that time, like all I was listening to was goddamn Jeezy and T.I. Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? So that was really what like molded.
Was Thug Motivation like that first one for you? Or
Of
was like
course.
even more like
Of course, like
before the
when
other
definitely
mixtapes?
not. Like I got on Jeezy like through my older cousins and shit. So
Yeah,
like they was already like with, you know what I'm saying, Thug, let's get it, Thug Motivation 101.
yeah,
But like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, by the time I was listening, you know, picking what I liked, like the recession, not the recession, but the it wasn't a recession. It was
Yeah, it was the one before that.
Thug Motivation 102, the Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah, the
yes,
Inspiration.
yeah.
So Inspiration was out. I was like on that shit heavy, and that was really like what I like listening to, because that album got me through some tough
Yeah.
shit. But like, as I said, like different age group,
And
you know what I'm
when you're
saying, different age bracket, and plus like,
And when
as-
you're of a certain age, like you hold on to like albums that you grew up with a lot more,
Yeah.
and like they become more personal. So it's
Exact- like,
it's
bro-
kind of like fuck everything else. Like
exactly.
like,
I
that's what
guarantee
kind
you,
of-
I'm about to be having the same argument with my son, like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 17, 18 years down
back
the
in
road.
my day.
17, 18 years down the road, I'm gonna be like, Kendrick was this. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
He's like,
Like,
but Dad, Tekashi 6ix9ine son, you know,
Dude,
like Tekashi
man.
6ix9ine Jr. is like the
man,
shit.
I
right now.
swing on my son. He say some dumb shit like that to me. Cuz, what the fuck?
Listen, man, the kids, you don't know what they're gonna be listening to, and
Man,
10 to
me? That's what they
15
gonna be listening to.
yeah.
I gotta keep that same energy. Gotta keep that confidence. But, nah. Yeah, we kind of got sidetracked, but it's all good.
What I wanted to say was like if we start talking about like stuff, because I remember like after Bleach dropped, you were doing a show at the Birdhouse where you were opening for an artist named John Stamp.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah,
That was cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
that was
then
good.
I remember because it's like it's just so weird hearing me like I know I. Cause it's almost like we're getting the trials and tribulations of what happened. Like it's almost like you call this Bleach and everything after.
Yeah.
Like, and how we got to where we are now. Because I remember when I saw you at the performance, you was like, "Yeah, I'm opening up and I'm going to try to network career with him." You said I could like do a couple of shows with him or something. So did that happen? Or
Unfortunately, it didn't, but I mean, I'm still in touch.
okay,
You know what I'm
cool.
saying? Like, it wasn't like no like bad vibes or anything like that. It's just like
Right.
they busy, I'm busy. So, you know
Right,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
Yeah, they're doing their thing. I see, it was like they're from Indianapolis, like
yeah,
him and
they're from Indy,
Nads
man.
doing-
Yo, shout out John Stamps. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. That was
Like,
a cool.
it was crazy.
cool-
Like, that was a crazy night, and it was a crazy moment because that was like one of the first times I got Dirty Gina perform.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I remember.
you
I
know what
remember
I'm
him
saying?
performing
Like,
with you.
I was hyped because
And
like
the people were hyped too. Like it was like a big kind of not
You know what I'm
mosh
saying?
pit, but like it was a crowd
Right.
there. Like
yo,
Yeah.
man, like that
Talk
was
to
a
me.
moment for me.
yeah,
You know what I'm
that was
saying?
cool,
And at
man.
that time, like shit, as I said, like there was shit going on with the set. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at the time, there was some shit going on between like, and I'm not gonna disclose like all the information, but there was some shit going on between Kid Crazy and you know what I'm saying, and Dirty, and like you know what I'm saying, it got squashed.
Yeah.
And like, but
Good.
before, you know what I'm saying, Earl was like, yo, you gotta, like, who do you want to perform on? Like, do you know anybody? And you know what I'm saying? And I had to decide between my homies, and that shit
Yeah.
hurt hard. Like, that shit,
Yeah.
that shit tore me apart. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I ended up flipping a coin just to see whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it ended up being Dirty Gene or whatever. But, like, even then, like, Kid Crazy was in the crowd. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He was
Yeah,
there. and,
definitely.
like,
Still showing
you know what I'm
love,
saying?
yeah.
If, like, as I recall from that night, like, there's pictures of all of us together, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, all the avenues and, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
all being together and stuff like that. So it was cool, you know what I mean? But,
It's good seeing you guys. I was really glad to see you guys out that most recently at Strack's birthday party, aka
Yeah.
the Cypher Saturday.
no,
And you just feel that
Fucking
energy, man.
crazy.
And when you guys really love music and love
yeah.
Yeah.
being in the moment and really
Definitely.
participate. So
Shit,
yeah, I love seeing you guys. out
man,
there.
I love Avenue.
Shout
You
out
know
to
what
all
I'm
of
saying?
them, man. Crazy.
You know what I'm
and,
saying? Kid Crazy, Dirty Gene, D
Gene.
Smith, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, man.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead and draft the homies. You know what I'm saying? I got the greatest pick, but
But you've kind of I mean, I guess we can kind of lead into moving a little bit further. I mean, you've been performing with because you like around here, you know, it's Knoxville, and you can perform with the same people over and over again, and it just kind of feels like the same show over and over again. But you've kind of gotten like a lot of different vibes. You've done a lot of different shows, kind of expanded. Not to mention through this process, after Bleach dropped, I'm seeing just showing up over at the Open Chord for
Oh,
poetry
yeah.
night. I see this guy just
No
getting off
word?
of
Wow.
work, like fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Oh yeah,
just
I
because
was,
I want to.
That's when I was working at the Cheesecake, fam.
Yo,
Okay.
and
fresh
he
off
got
work,
up
smelling
there.
like fucking dish detergent and fucking whatever the hell was going on back there.
But
Like,
but did an actual poem in
Yeah.
in that area in that atmosphere.
it was written as a poem, but then we ended up making it a song for one of the 2 Sick Tuesdays when I was doing those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead Wrong.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And then not only that, I saw you do which I thought was really really awesome. Shout out to Joey Jennings over
Big shout out to Joey Jennings,
Yeah.
man. I got my like foot in the door with Big Ears.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That was the Big Ears weekend. That was kind of
Yeah.
like it was a Big
Oh,
Ears
word.
show, and it was over at Awaken Coffee. And you were performing with Joey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Logan on the guitar.
Oh yeah.
And so there was a guitar.
Logan.
Logan. Yeah.
Ashley?
Huh?
She is a girl or guy?
There's a guy.
dude.
Logan.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Logan. Yeah,
I-
yeah.
Okay. No. There's a I want to say a country artist out right now. I think her name is Logan Ashley.
Oh
That's
no,
what I
I'm
was
not
thinking
aware.
of.
No. Anyways, Logan's performed with Joey a lot. Shout out to them. But like to see you in that atmosphere with Joey and to do one of Joey's songs that I've seen him do before, and for you to kind of have your verse in there and perform with live instrumentation,
Yeah.
and it was really really awesome. I know it was like the first time but it was really cool just to see you go out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
expand. And that's the type of stuff that I was thinking, like, yo, he's gonna pick up so much from this. Like,
It was definitely a
it's
moment
gonna
of
be
growth.
new stuff. Yeah.
It was definitely a moment of growth. Like,
Mm.
as I said, after Bleach was kind of a lull for me at least, because I'm always trying to do some shit. Like,
Right.
I'm always like, I've got to do a show. Like, I got to do
Yeah.
this. I got to do
Right.
that. Like, I always feel like I got to be moving. So,
Right.
it was just like after Bleach, like, yeah, I'm doing shows, but you know, I want to do something else. Like, I want to
Yeah.
try something else. And like, I was just going through a moment. You know what I'm saying? I was just having an
Mm.
artist moment. And also, like, as I said, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll keep it 100. Like, I was being, like, at the time, I was, like, going through some shit with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a
Right.
lot of insecurity, there's a lot of insecurity. There's a lot of, like, just problems with myself that I
Yeah.
wasn't getting over. Like, and a lot of it was, like, a part of, like, me changing the name was, like, a lot of it was just, like, entitlement, bullshit entitlement. You know what I'm saying? After a while, I started feeling like if I seen a show that was, you know what I'm saying, up and I wasn't booked for it, I'd be like, why the fuck they ain't booked me? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, like that shit started going in my head. You know what I mean? I had
Right.
to check myself.
It happens,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Working with Joey and just being in something different, just understanding like nobody know me over here.
And
Yeah.
like you found something that nobody from the hip hop community was trying to kind of go in, and so you kind of found your own space and you made it work.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing I think is just like you sought after something and occupied your time that was like driving
Definitely.
you
And then
wild.
also like,
yeah,
when was that? When was Big Ears?
Big Ears was like maybe in the spring, March, April.
Yeah, so,
something
like,
that.
Shit. A lot has happened. I'm starting
Yeah.
to think about this shit. A lot has happened. So
It has,
okay,
man. I'm just
just to
starting
catch
think
up with the timeline, I'll just go back to like the
So
middle
wait,
of
you
Bleach,
had
like-
so that was a live. That's when you performed with the live band and stuff. But there's also, I don't know if it's the same one. I might be wrong. There was also a time where you were with Bush and they were at Scruffy City.
Yeah,
you did
that
some
was
of
the
those.
Out the Nest. Shout out Justin Cipriani. He
Yeah.
put that Out the Nest thing together, and we all did that.
So you
Okay.
did
Yeah.
live
So-
band performance, live
Yeah, that was with the
instrumentation.
Yeah, and I
Theory.
think that was the first time I ever heard you do like "Pray for Me" behind a live band. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
this
that was
song is so,
I did Skin
that's-
and Prayed For with a live band.
Yeah,
Damn.
that was like that song already gives me goosebumps. So to hear like a live band like playing it while you're and then like and I knew it was real because if you ever seen
It's all
If you ever
good.
seen Gray perform, you know he gets very hype, very animated, very amped. But when it
something
was
else.
time for when it's time for prayed for, it was like you just see him standing at the mic, just like very somber, and it's like he's in a zone. I mean, he probably hyping his head, but like and I felt them.
It's
and it was like,
it's just the subject matter.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The subject matter of Skin, like, and when I was creating Skin, like when I was writing it and making the beat and everything, like I wanted it to feel like we was in a speakeasy, and I was up there telling you about what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Then when Prayed For come on, like, okay, Skin is about being black.
right,
It's about being black. I'm telling you about being black.
Yeah.
Prayed For is being black.
right,
You know what I'm saying? It's a 2-part song, so Prayed For
Right.
comes on. Prayed For is being black.
right,
Prayed For is the experience of being black. So, like, that's why it's such a deeper song.
right,
You know what I'm saying? In your face song as opposed
Right.
to, like, the first half of, like, where Skin was.
right. But I'm also sure I want to say I'm almost positive like at that one in Scruffy City. Didn't you do Pray For Me as well?
I didn't do Pray For Me with a live band, but I
Okay.
did perform it.
Yeah, but
I think.
but it's like just seeing you like I said, just
Pray
seeing
For
you
Me
do
was
those
a crazy
songs
joint, too.
is like
Just
is like,
and that's not me like trying to toot my own horn or anything, but the reason I say that it was crazy because like my grandma didn't know she was at the end of that song,
yeah,
and it was a day after Bleach dropped. I went over to her house with D, and we was talking and everything, and I was like, yeah, my like album came out yesterday, and she was like, oh, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? She don't really know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's be
What
real,
does that
like
mean?
she know I work on music, but she don't really like. You know what I'm saying?
Know where it's-
Understand
yeah.
completely what be going on and stuff like that. So like I played her the song and she was like, "Who's that singing?" I was like, "It's my friend Chris." Like, you know. And we was talking and stuff and she was listening to the song and at the end she heard her voice come on and like the look on her face, like, bro, like that would be a moment I would cherish for the rest of my life just because she was like, "That's me." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and with the music in the background.
Yeah, like
Right,
she's like,
yeah.
"Oh my god." She was like, "That's me." Like,
yeah.
you know, so like it was a crazy moment because you know, it was something that meant something to me. Like,
yeah,
Pray For Me means a lot to me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
right,
like shit, when they play that shit on the radio, like that was kind of intense. Just because like I was in the car, and the homie that owns Murderers Row Clothing, Zach Puka, shout out to him. He hit me up and was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? Go to the UTK rap station right now."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" Like I'm like, "What the fuck is he like? Whatever."
yeah.
Went there and Pray For Me is on.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
To hear that over your
Yeah,
car.
and then Luna texted me. She said, "Your song's playing on the radio right now." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wow,
you know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. That was a crazy moment. But
right.
yeah, like
So like in terms of like performance, like have you felt any different from when you when you first started hitting the stage? I mean, have you picked up on anything? I mean, you don't have to reveal anything, but like
the
I mean,
difference.
yeah,
Like, the
yeah,
difference
just
between, like, when I was
not
first
even
performing till now?
difference, but like the growth in that development right there. Like I see you like you kind of have a set down and you know what to do with certain songs and you kind of have your own thing with songs now, and I kind of sense a lot more confidence. Yeah, going back.
Oh
to
yeah, definitely. There's a
recent
lot.
performance.
There's a lot more confidence in performing, no matter where I'm at now.
not even confidence, but like you know what to do with the song. Like
Yeah.
you kind of develop. Okay, this is how I attack it.
Yeah.
Like when you first come out with a song, it's brand new and you kind of got to feel it out. Now, is
It's
it kind
just-
of like that?
I just dive in and figure it out and figure it out
Time to
later.
go.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just I'm just diving. You know what I mean? But like with the performances, like a lot of people tell me like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like your performance is great. Like, you know, like I love seeing you perform and that type of
Yeah.
stuff. But like it's just to me when I noticed I started noticing my growth when more people was involved.
Okay.
Like more people were reacting to it.
Yeah.
and
Like, okay, at the beginning, like, what was I performing? Like, my set list at the beginning was always, I start off with Nervous, and then I would do, like, a couple of songs off of Cage Bird Sing, and then
Yeah.
I might do something I had been working on. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And then, like, once it was, like, post-Bleach, it was, like, all Bleach set,
Yeah.
whatever. So then
Yeah.
it'd be, like, the verse from Sleep,
Right.
No Aim,
Right.
Ignorant, I Just Want to Live,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, Skin, Prayed For, and then Pray For Me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, like, shit started changing. as it started progressing, because I didn't like people really start telling me the songs they like and just different type of stuff. But like I mean, I don't know. I still do crowd favorites. Like I just want to live in Ignorant, and I fucking hate Ignorant.
Oh, is that like your Method Man? Because Method Man hates like Method Man.
He is the METHOD man.
Yeah,
song?
yeah. That
Really?
song, the actual song Method Man. He. There's stories like I don't know if I've said it on the show before with you, but there's an interview where he said that he despises that song because he felt like it's in a sense that's not him. He felt like that's not him.
Yeah.
He was just doing it because like they said we need to do it like this.
Yeah.
And it's
for
like
that
so.
album.
Well, no,
was that
it
like,
wasn't. It wasn't like that because like I mean it was all organic and everything. But
Yeah.
like Ignorant for me, like it just became so much.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it became okay. For instance, I dropped Ignorant, and like that shit skyrocketed super fast.
Right.
People was listening to it. I had like 1,000 plays in like 2 months or some shit like that.
That's what's
Like
up.
I mean, it's not like a lot compared to some people, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it was a
No,
lot.
man,
And then I'm performing it and people are loving the song and that type of shit, and then I do a video to it. Shout out Paco, by the way. But
Yo, yeah, I was about to mention the video. The video
Yeah.
was just, I loved it, man.
Right.
Because it wasn't your stereotypical BS where like somebody standing in front of the sun sphere. It was like some
Yeah.
funny stuff that I wanted. Like it wasn't a dull moment through it.
Yeah.
Shout out to D in there.
hey, Schmill.
Cooking
Shout out
it up.
Schmill, man.
Yeah, man. Like
Shit,
that
we-
was.
we
I
cooked-
thoroughly enjoyed that, man.
we
And there was a
cooked
lot of
grilled cheeses
personality.
on the fucking grill for real. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
it's just
like-
funny. But yeah, like doing the video to it, and then like, you know what I'm saying? People enjoyed the song. Like everyone loves that song, and I'm just like, I fucking can't stand it. It's probably just because I performed it so much. Like
Okay.
I was performing it before Bleach dropped.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it was just like, I
right.
gotta do this shit again. But like, even then, I'm still appreciative of the people who fuck with it because like
Right.
now, like at shows, you know what I'm saying? Like I can barely get my fucking verse out. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's always dope.
No,
You know what I'm saying? As soon as I wake up at noon, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it helps with the video, like people like it gets stuck in their head. They watch it a few times and then they go back to iTunes and get it again or Spotify or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, man, the video helps.
Yeah.
definitely help.
I don't know if we want to jump like too quick on it, but like I really want to get to it because I'm sure people are waiting to hear. But how did you run into Landon Warswell?
Oh, yeah.
and get into
Yeah.
that. And,
Yeah.
Okay, so
for those
This
that
is-
don't
this
know,
is again-
this man's fresh off a tour. With Landon.
2 tours.
I went on a tour and then I went to Boston and then I came
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So that was nuts.
But with Landon, because Landon's come through here and were you performing with him like at one of those shows like earlier in the year, like when
Yeah.
it was like a pilot light show?
Yeah, it was a pilot light show. Oh shit, did I?
No, we're good.
I was like,
I
oh,
think
shit,
you were
saw it
performing
move.
at that one.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so this just goes back to like the after Bleach conversation.
Okay.
Bleach had dropped, everything was cool. Then me and Luna got kicked out the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then me and Luna
Okay.
got kicked out the crib. So
remember
like
that.
now me and Luna homeless.
Oh wow.
And you know what I'm saying? We doing what we got to do. Like I'm sleeping on my brother's couch. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She bouncing
Yeah.
place to place. I'm sleeping on my brother's couch and occasionally having to sleep in my car because like the door gets locked. I don't got no key to the house. Like what am I doing? I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Like so. It's stuff like that's going on or whatever. And at that time, like my self-esteem and just my headspace was not in a good place because like I'm doing all these shows. And like, cause like at the beginning of this year, like, okay, beginning of 2018, like January, February, I had like what 7 shows, like
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
near like,
Yeah, we were doing a lot.
yeah, it was a lot of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? At the beginning of this year. Meanwhile, I'm homeless doing these shows, like,
wow.
not knowing like what the fuck we about to do. You know what I mean? So, like, this shit's going on, and DJ Earl Grey hits me up. He's like, "Yo, we got some dudes from Arizona, like out west, trying to come over here. Like, you want to perform at this show, and like, I'm trying to get Dirty Gene on here as well." So like, I ended up calling Dirty. We ended up performing Tripping, and then I did my set or whatever. But like, I honestly didn't think of anything coming from that show.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, man, this is gonna be another show. Fuck it. Like, I'm just doing this right now just to make myself feel better. Like, I'm
Yeah.
doing this just to.
Another artist rolls through.
Yeah,
and
like,
just
I'm like-
forgets about Knoxville.
Yeah, I'm just like, whatever,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
yeah.
nothing about to come from this. Well, so I do that show. Of course, there's more shows after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I drop Still, find out I'm having a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just a bunch of stuff is going on. And Luna calls me one day, like, we got a house, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so Luna calls me one day, I'm on my way home, and she's like, yo, you remember that dude you performed with earlier this year? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, he wants you to go on tour with him. And I was like, oh, word. Like, and I take everything with a grain of salt. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he want me to tour with him. Like, whatever, fuck it. Like,
Yeah, when are we gonna go to like Johnson City and
like it wasn't even
Horse-
that. It wasn't even that. Like, I
what was
wasn't like underwhelmed or anything. I
Yeah.
was like, okay. Like, I took it with a grain of salt. Like, okay, like, well, we gonna see what he talking about.
yeah, if it
You know
comes
what
to
I'm saying?
fruition. Yeah.
And then like he was adamant about it, and he was like, yo, like, I really want you to go on this tour and stuff like that. And like, to be honest, I didn't have the money to put up at first.
Mm.
So like I missed the opportunity, and he had somebody else replace me at first, and I was fucking butthurt about it.
Yeah.
Like I was fucking, I
Like,
was
that was a
sad.
real missed
Like,
opportunity.
I was like depressed, bro. I'm
Yeah.
at my grandma's house doing laundry, just laying on the couch staring at the ceiling, like fuck, like you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like your poor money management skills fucked you up. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm beating myself up over it, and like my, you know what I'm saying, my woman now, like, you know what I'm saying, who's amazing, but she was texting me like, you know, you can't be depressed about this, right? And I'm not responding to the text like a bitch, just like not trying to talk, like whatever, like. And then she finally texted me. She said, "Stop being a pussy." I'm like, hold up, like who you talking to? Like she said, "Stop being a bitch." She's like, "You want this shit? You gotta get up and go get it." The fuck you mean, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? She was like, "You can't be depressed just about this shit. You better figure out a way to get on another fucking tour." Like, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, of course, I'm kind of hot because she's talking to me this way, but at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she's doing it because she cares. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Trying to motivate you, push you out. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Push you out of that comfort zone.
definitely.
Yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, whatever, I missed the opportunity. Fine. Fuck it. Still working on music, still doing what I'm doing. And then he calls Luna and is like, yo, the person I had family shit going on. They can't perform. Your man's still trying to go.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, I go.
That's what's up.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, man. It was
Yeah.
That is what's up.
So
you know.
what were the cities that on that tour that you
okay.
hit up?
So we I got the fucking list wrong at first.
Oh, bro.
I had the list wrong at first, but then like once I got the actual list, we ran it. But
For show, I
Was
mean,
in
and you never
Knoxville.
performed out of Knoxville, have you? I mean,
Nah.
prior to this.
like before it,
Wow.
nah. Like those are
Wow.
my first out of town shows
Damn.
ever.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah. So shout out
the
to Landon
first
Worthwell,
show-
man, giving me the opportunity for real, like
Yeah.
really fucking with me.
Yeah.
But I just talked to him like 2 days ago. It's crazy.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
thinking about. I was
Shout
texting
out,
him the
yeah.
other day, like
Yeah.
but yeah, like
Was that like
so it
St.
was
Louis?
the first show like that I was on
Yeah.
was here in Knoxville, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did the
Yeah.
You know what I'm
thing at
saying,
the
which was a
Birdhouse.
beautiful show.
Yeah, it was good. Good
Great.
vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then the next day we were in Columbia, South Carolina, and we didn't really
Right.
perform then. Like we went to Columbia, and it was just like a chill day, like a what you know, a touring artist like him would call an off day.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
we just chilled in Columbia, and it was a fun time. It was a good time for me to get my head together and just like really think about it. And then the next day we were in Charleston, performed in Charleston, made somebody
Wow.
cry. Like it was
Really?
crazy. Like that shit was nuts. Like Charleston, like I knew I was supposed to be doing music, and like all this shit made sense when we were in Charleston. Like before,
Yeah.
like that day, the day we were supposed to perform, I walk into the venue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And on the wall is this like picture of this like Smeagol looking creature doing like its hands like that or something like that, and then it projects a wolf onto the
Wow.
wall, right?
Okay.
Which was crazy to me because I always talked about like the artist self, my artist self, as a wolf. I always refer to him as a wolf. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like, or I always call it the wolf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I saw that and I was like, that's intense. Like, whatever. Like, okay, that's a sign. That's an
Yeah.
omen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sitting on my phone, scrolling, anxious or whatever, and I look up and I'm smoking a cigarette. I look up and right in my face, it's somebody's tag in Charleston, but right in my face, the letters NUE are like right in
Fuck
front of
outta
my.
here, really?
I swear to God.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Like, on my son, bro. Like that shit was nuts. Like just looking up and seeing that NUE like written like on the little wood or whatever. I was like,
Wow.
what the fuck? So I see that and I'm like, I'm meant to be here. Like I just knew I
Some
was.
signs were like pointing in your direction. Yeah. So like that tour. I mean, that tour came back around. That opportunity came back around, and you
Yeah,
you didn't dismiss it that time. And
It was definitely great, man. It was
so and then you also hit up St. Louis, right?
nah.
No.
Nah.
Or was
we went to okay, so we performed in Charleston, and then right after that, like we hung out with his homies, and then we hopped in the car for a 14-hour drive to, if I'm not mistaken, the first show was Bloomington, Illinois.
Bloomington, where?
Yeah.
Bloomington, Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So went to Bloomington, performed there,
Yeah.
and then we went to Champaign, Illinois,
Yeah,
which is like an hour or two away.
Yeah, home of the University of the Fighting Illini.
Yeah. And went there to Champaign, performed there, and that was like my last day on tour. And I
Okay.
came home for 2 weeks and then went to Boston.
Wow. What was it?
So what was that like? Like for me, I've been when I've taken up DJing, it's only been like a year, but you know I've been around here just mainly in Knoxville, and when I go out to like Nashville, Atlanta, I pick up on like different vibes. It's just a different energies. I mean, it could be like the same type of crowd or whatever, but it's just a different energy. Like, did you get any differences? Like, did you see anything that was different out there to any of the spots? Like, something that you had to adjust in your performance, or what was that like? Or you just
Only thing I really had to adjust in my performance, as far as like what I do or whatever, like I can't give the mic to the crowd and I just want to live. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't give the mic to the crowd as I do here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no home court advantage here.
Yeah,
you know,
you gotta
out there.
really
So like
introduce yourself out
yeah,
there.
yeah. So it's just like it's literally like doing first shows over and over and over again. So it was.
Yeah.
And for me, I looked at it as a challenge. So you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm about to crush this shit. They gonna remember me like I'm head first diving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely different vibes. But then what I noticed about like the artists in the different cities that perform with us and stuff, like they just like us. Like when we brought Jamie Cornelia and L7 Records from Atlanta here.
Yeah. Over
You know what I'm
here
saying?
to
Yo,
Knoxville.
matter of fact, shout out to the homies, by the way.
Yeah.
I got this bomb ass Jamie Cornelia verse.
Oh, really? Yeah. Damn. Shout out to
hype.
ATL.
Yeah, real shit. But yeah, like when we brought them up here, like shout out Jerron, by the way, because he's a fucking genius in setting shit up. Like,
yeah, that was
he
him.
set
Yeah,
that
yeah.
up. He set up the
Don't
Boston
tell your
show.
mama. Don't tell mama.
Yeah. But yeah, like when they came up here, like hanging out with them and shit, I was like, bro, they just like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like going out of town and seeing the other artists and shit like that, like like we are all the same because we all trying to do the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all have our mind and our, you know what I'm saying, like drive towards the same goal. And it really wasn't any different as far as that goes, because I felt, you know what I'm saying, to be honest, like especially like in Bloomington and Champaign, like those are college towns. You know what I'm saying? So like shit, I'm from a college town. Like that shit was normal to me. You know what I mean? Like leave the venue and the whole fucking, you know, street cracking because you got, you know what I'm saying, you got all these bars and shit. And it's a college town.
Everything's
Like,
all
everything-
in one tight space.
yeah, so like it was definitely like not too much different. The only difference in Illinois and here was that it was fucking cold and it was still warm here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like so
So you kind of what I get to is that you saw those similarities that like, hey, they're just like us. They're just out here really going out of town, going out of the way to like meet new people, and so that kind of led into like you guys going up to you doing a show with some other guys that you can name out in Boston, right?
Oh yeah.
That happened a little later after the tour, right?
Yeah. That show was booked before I went on tour though.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So all the way out in Boston.
Dude, man.
Who
that
was on the trip?
Okay, so it was me, Dirty Gene, and D Smith, and it was supposed to be Benji going, but you know what I'm saying, he had some stuff he needed to take care of, so he couldn't go. But like, you know what I'm saying, again, shout out to Jerron because he set that up. You know what I'm saying, like, and even though he couldn't go, he was still like, yo, go. Like, I want y'all to go. I want to see motherfuckers win. You know what I'm saying? So I will forever be grateful for him. You know what I'm saying? Because that was another step for us. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, so I come home off tour, And I'm here for 2 weeks. I'm back working on the album, back working on, stuff that I need to be working on and getting shit together.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to figure out how Boston's about to work. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, originally it was supposed to be me, D. Smith, Ghostface V, and Benji. But, Ghostface don't rap no more. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had to find somebody to, like, who fit, you know what I'm saying, with us. And it was, like, Dirty Gene. Like, so, of course, Dirty goes, and, like, it's me, D, and Dirty on the road. You know what I mean? Like, and that was a great trip because, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers be on them jokes. And, you know what I'm saying? Of course, then the musical conversations and shit like that. But it was a very fun trip, you know what I'm saying?
Like, how was the show in Boston?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Definitely fun. Shout out Ill Addicts from Boston.
Yeah, that was a hometown.
Yeah. Like
Boston.
Ill Addicts, shout out Ferris, shout out DJ Shells, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Dude, like, all of them people are dope up there, man. They love it. It was a super weird day, though, I will say that. Because, like, we had, like, a 17-hour drive up there just because we took a couple stops, you know what I'm saying? Then we got lost in New York. God damn, bro.
You're going to get lost up there if you...
Dude, man, like, nah, like,
out of town.
New York, look, New York is just a fuck ton of roads, right? So, like, dude, man, so like, as soon as we, like, got into New York, the GPS went crazy and started rerouting.
Yeah. I can imagine that.
So it just starts rerouting, right? And, like, it's telling us to go here, it's telling us to go there. So we 15 minutes in the Bronx, don't know nobody. Like, just up here stuck. So then said...
Can't really ask for directions up in the Bronx.
Man,
excuse me, sir?
Man, D bold ass done hopped out the window and niggas talking about something. Yo, what neighborhood we in? Like... I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
you can't
bro.
be at.
I was like, I turned around, I was like, D, get your ass back in the car. Like,
they gonna let you know. They gonna let you know what neighborhood you in.
Like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like,
there.
what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, shit. He was like, we ain't from here. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I get where he was trying to go with it, but it's still like, bro, like, what the fuck? So, like, most stressful 15 minutes of my life just being lost in New York. I wasn't even driving. You know what I'm saying? Andy was driving, but fuck, like,
damn.
But yeah, so. Then we had, like, they got tolls up north.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that, bro? The first toll was like 360. Like, cool, whatever.
Right.
Then we got to that one, it was 15.
Up high, yep.
I was like, man, you about to drain my fucking pockets up here, B. Like,
Did you feel like you had a little more under your belt when you hit the stage in Boston than you did like in those first out of town gigs that you did with Landon Warswell?
Not really.
Not really. It was just
like I mean,
it's the same old thing for you. I mean,
a show is a show.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm like, it don't matter how many people out there. It don't matter who I'm performing with. It don't matter what we got to do with.
Yeah.
I'm jumping. I'm jumping off a roof no matter what. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm not going into this show, you know what I'm saying, as like, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I got a show out of town, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta
like,
switch it up.
I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you
yeah.
got those anxieties, but, like, to me, I'm diving every time.
Yeah.
Just because, like, this is what I call my job. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Are, too.
And, like, I have to go into this bitch full blown and ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And be prepared and going in this bitch like it's my last show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I understand, like, this shit can be taken from me at any point in time.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
what's up.
Yeah.
So it's just, I do that as a way of appreciation for it.
You know, I gotta say, that I hold you in like the utmost respect as an artist and as a person. I remember one day you came into the store and I was telling you some stuff I was dealing with, especially dealing with like the show and stuff, and you was just like, yo, bro, I know you can't see it right now, but yo, just stay on it and it's gonna happen. And you know, just give me words of encouragement as it deals with just with everything in life. And because it's like, you know, it's like you could have been in a place where it's like, yo, I don't like what about me, or look at me, and like this is what I'm doing. And every time I hear like to hear this other side is like such a shock, because whenever I see you, it seems to me like you're always working, or you're looking for that next thing to get into, the next thing to do.
Yeah.
From what I see, but to hear this side is like, yo, I didn't see any of that when I spoke to you, and it's like that was always a good way of you just, you know, still being you amidst all the trials and tribulations and struggles that's going on in your life. So I just gotta shout you out for that, and I want to say thank you once again for those kind words, man.
Word,
That,
no problem,
that means
bro.
a lot.
Like, I mean, shit, we all go through it. You know what I'm saying? And, like, at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as I told you, like, I tell that to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a dude in Charleston, you know what I'm saying, who was, like, asking me about music and just what drives me and stuff like that. And he was, like, talking about how he was going through some weird shit in his life. And, like, I told him the same shit I told you. Like, you ain't gonna see it right now.
Yeah.
Like, because you in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you in the middle of it, when you in the thick of it, when you in the trenches, like, you don't see the end goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the end goal. Everybody wants, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants what that point be or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know where you came from. You know where you want to be. But nobody pays attention to, like, this in-between. And, like, that in-between means everything.
Yeah, it does.
Right, yeah.
Like, that in-between means everything. And you don't pay attention to it because, like, right now, even right now during this moment, like, we are in an in-between.
Right.
And because because it's, like, it's not a destination. There is no, like, point where you're going to be like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
if
it's
you
always. I mean, there's always you're always wanting more, and you're not going to be
yeah, like,
complacent and all that.
I mean,
but
if you get like, honestly, like, that's a poison, complacency.
Yeah.
Like, if you get
For
to a
real,
point
for
where
real,
you, like,
for real.
if you get to a point where you, like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially with something you call your career or you know what I mean? Like, especially something you say you love or you care
Yeah.
about and you, like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to go nowhere else. Like,
You might as well just be working a regular 9 to 5. Man.
Yeah,
like,
like,
you know, just being
you know what I'm
okay
saying?
with just. I mean, because that's really what you're treating it. This is different. You know what I mean? Like we're really different for following these different paths. You know, it's not for everyone, and
Oh,
so
it's not for the weak of heart.
Yeah, yeah.
And
so,
that's one thing I learned on the road is, like, this shit, like, look, being here and doing shows, like, being, you know what I'm saying, hometown hero and fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like, having all the love from, like, you know what I'm saying, the local scene and shit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, is cool, and it makes you feel some type of way.
yeah.
But then going on the road, and
different.
you not at home, because, like, at the end of the show at the Birdhouse, I still got to go back to the crib.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the show at the pilot, I still got to go back to the crib. I
Right.
still got to deal with this shit right then and there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
On the road, there is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
There is none. Like,
Mm.
being on the road, you get a text, oh, whoopty whoop, this shit going on right now. But I'm 900 miles away from home.
Right.
I can't deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the biggest things you got to deal with. Like, it's not for, you know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely took the road less traveled if you decided to chase what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about music, but I'm just saying, like, for the aspiring musician or just anybody who just, like, in my same position or whatever, like, here in the city that ain't been on tour, just that want to do this as a career, like, because, like, this is not for the weak of heart. This is
Right.
not for the
It's
weak-minded.
a lot of
because at the-
sacrifice.
So, Gray, do you have any shouts you want to give?
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's about that time, huh? Shout out to my son who was born like,
Hey.
Yeah.
3,
Shout out.
4 days
Shout
ago.
out.
You know what I'm saying?
Papa New.
Yeah, they call me Papa New.
Grade
you
2.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, grade 2, you know what I'm saying? Alexander Gray, you know what I'm saying? November 17th, 11:06 a.m. That shit was
All
crazy.
right.
Man.
That shit was wild.
So
But-
happy for you.
I appreciate that shit, man. But yeah, man, shout out my woman, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's the first one just because, like, she was the one there.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Just like, yeah, she was just the one there that was there for the ugly parts. That was
Right,
there for, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Never once was she was like, yeah, maybe you should quit, or never once was she like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Yeah,
you
just-
got to do this, or you not doing this. You know what I'm saying? She
Right.
was just, bro, like.
She was right all along, like pushing you and doing the
Yeah,
stuff
man.
that you
Like,
needed to do.
there's a like, I
Yeah.
still got the text. There's like a 4-paragraph text she sent me, bitching me the fuck out, talking about something
Wow.
like, you don't send enough emails to these people, and you don't try to book enough shows, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
So-
You don't, you know what I'm saying. You don't have enough videos out. You don't try to do this many photo shoots, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, when you
Like-
come across people like that really care about you like that, and you really
Right.
see that, you're like, wait a minute, you're
Oh.
still around, you're still sticking around. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
you-
like
you
no,
gotta
of course
hold
when
on
she
to that,
sent it,
man.
I was hot. Like,
You
who the
gotta-
fuck you talking to? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
good, man.
I definitely, you know, she's definitely there for me. She's definitely down for the team. Definitely shout out to the set. No, shout out to the Avenues.
The Ave.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Word.
if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, in my opinion. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the homies, like, that's who I do it for. You know what I mean? Like, that's everything I do is for the new. You know what I mean? So, like,
Word.
if I can push the brand and get this rolling, you know what I'm saying? That's all I care about.
Right.
Definitely shout out Jay Bush. I saw him in traffic earlier. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean today's crazy traffic? That's Thanksgiving traffic. out
Dude,
here?
man, that was
Man,
some
I was trying to
bullshit.
get
I'm
around
on
too,
40.
man.
Look, I'm on 40. Shit done slow to a stop. I look over and see Bush.
Can't be in 40.
We had a damn look. We had a 10-minute conversation just chilling in traffic today. But
That shit was a war zone, man.
yeah, this shit was crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, shout out Jay Bush just because like with us talking about Bleach and everything, like he was a big part in that, like getting that shit together. Shit, man. Shout out, you know what I'm saying, D Smith, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course he a part of Avenue, but I live with him, so shout
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
you know, D Smith, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Benji3, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out Luna. Shout out
Yeah. Shout out.
Fuck.
Luna.
I feel like I'm missing people. Shout out E-Man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't ran into him in a minute.
He's around.
You know,
He stays
but
busy.
it's like every time we run into each other, it's a good time. So it's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
great. Shit, man, I feel like I'm missing a bunch of people. Shout out fucking Barabbas and Megastar Love Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
those two.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, shout out them too, because Barabbas done hooked me up with some beats, you know what I'm saying? Like, getting some songs done. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So did Megastar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to spoil anything, but you know
It'll
what I'm
be on the
saying?
way.
Some shit's in the works.
Stuff is in the
Right.
works from you and from the Av too, right?
Oh,
like,
shit. I keep doing that. My bad,
Like,
dog.
you good, you good.
You're fine.
From the Av,
Um,
like, I mean, can we expect? I mean, it's like more 2019 early, like first half 2019, or
Okay.
I mean, I don't
so-
want to rush the process, but
Oh,
and
nah,
not
yeah,
spoil
like, I
anything,
mean-
you don't gotta announce, but I mean, just for those that are like dying to know, like,
I mean,
where
Dirty
we
Gene
at?
working on Southside New right now.
okay,
Yeah,
So,
he
like,
is.
Southside New should be dropping, you know, soon. Hopefully, you know, we got some shit to work on, you know what I mean?
any collabs?
Kid
elsewhere?
Crazy about to drop
yeah,
some shit.
Yeah.
He been working on his album.
Yeah.
That man, oh my God, bro. Like, every time I see him, he got some new shit. He's like, yo, check this out. And he spit it. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like, so
Right.
shout out
So
him.
that's on the
You
way.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
Kid Crazy about to work on, he's been working on his album. So that's about to go crazy. D been working on his album.
Right.
okay,
Yo,
God
put the
damn.
word in his ear to be on the show. Just put the word in his ear. I know I spoke to him. He was like, "Yo, you gotta give me some more time. I got some things I'm working on right now. But I'm coming on, but you know, you gotta give me
Man,
some time."
Smith gonna move how Smith gonna move. That's just one thing. Like,
shout out to D, man.
I
He's
mean,
moving, though.
that's
He's
just one
moving,
thing
though,
about
don't
homie.
get me
Like, he gonna
yeah.
do whatever he gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, of course he make the right choices.
Yeah.
He got a collab.
So you're saying
I'm not gonna-
to
look,
be on
I'm
our
not
show is
gonna-
not the right move? Then is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, nah, it's the right move. You know what I mean? Definitely, but it's just one of those things where it's like Smith gonna do what he gonna do.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's no getting in that man's ear. Like, I can tell him all day to do something, but he not gonna do it if he ain't feeling right with it.
And
Right.
for
You know what I mean?
those who are doubting, you're still creating. It's on the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't put your head down, man. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna be well worth the wait. You know, listen. Like,
look, man, I
we're
dropped
all independent
Moth
artists out
August 3rd, and you know that was good. People thought I was gonna have an album like the next month. I was like, oh, y'all motherfuckers ready, huh? But nah, like of course, as I said, like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working towards this, like, 45-song goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the first
Yeah.
time I've ever just been like, okay, there's this many songs I want to try to do. Let me go ahead and just see if I can do them or whatever. And, you know what I'm saying? In between life and fucking work.
life. Yeah,
And-
you got
and-
some new things happening in life that might take
definitely.
some time. So
You know what I'm
but-
saying? Like,
but hopefully that inspires some good stuff, you know,
Oh,
musically. And
yeah.
yeah.
I went on the road, came back home, and had a son on these niggas.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
that's got to be a lot of inspiration, motivation right there. So
Yeah, man,
that's-
definitely.
that's
so
something
like,
I'm looking forward to hearing.
it's it's on the way. I've just been in
Yeah.
between shit, but like as I said, I got like 26 songs done. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
But-
it's definitely in the vault.
Right.
The city has not forgotten about you.
Yeah.
Still, whenever
Hey.
you do pop up, you're killing it, and I'm proud of you, man. Like,
Hey, I
yeah.
appreciate
Word,
that, fam.
yeah.
It was just like, as I said earlier, it's like it seemed like a year ago we was like just outside pilot, like talking about shit, and now it's like
Just trying to
okay.
figure out each other, like, who am I?
Yeah, like, and now it's like, okay, here we are.
Yeah, man. A lot of growth. A good year for both of us. So yeah, man.
Definitely,
Very
man.
thankful for that, man.
All right.
Definitely.
What about you, Rico? You got any shouts you want to give?
Just kind of like announced it. By the time you see this, you probably see it up on my Mixcloud. But I'm gonna shout out to 90.3 FM WUTK, The Rock. I've been working over there, and gonna be doing a lot more mixing live on the radio. So just guest mixing for DJ Aiko. Shout out to her for her show, The Electronic Zoo, 3-hour takeover this Saturday. So it's gonna be a lot of dance, EDM, house vibes. Really excited about that. It's gonna be some really good stuff on Saturday at midnight till 3 a.m. on Sunday, and
I
then
might pull up.
yeah, definitely. And
Word.
then tune in. You can listen to it on 90.3 if you're in the area. If not, you can listen online. I don't know why I'm saying this, but like for the future references, www.wutkradio.com/listen-live/ and yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. Then I'm gonna be doing in a few hours later from that guest mix, I'm gonna be doing something at 10 a.m. till noon, some morning vibes, and then a few more at the end of December for these kind of like holiday shows. So be on the lookout for that 10 a.m. to noon slot, and just kind of guest mixing. Really, shout out to everybody over there, JJ, Janelle, Benny Smith. Everybody with their shows, DJ Aiko, the Mothership. And shout out to my man Thrash God himself, Verns, for just everything that he does for the city. And yeah, that's kind of my shout outs for this week. Shout out to the Doers and Sayers too. It's been a great year working with y'all. Very thankful to be with the crew.
Yes. You know what it is. I'm DJ Carrico. Doers and Sayers podcast. After the interview comes the performance. And man, we got once again Gray Jackson up in the building, back better than ever, playing a new song. This is Far From the Tree. Let's set it off real right here. Gray Jackson, let's go.
Sound just like your mama when you start the bitch. You play your victim, but you love talking shit. I don't get it. Legs in the air, the only time you feeling confident. You hate yourself, girl, that's obvious. And why you press me about our issues with the audience? No, you don't need me, but won't call it quits. And call me extra when I press a dude, you texting like, that's your best friend. Well, why he all on your page? Why he calling you babe? Why you smiling this text and ignoring mine like the plague? When I press him on, you tell me that I'm fucking insane. Okay, I get it. I'm crazy acting just like my father. But when you start to bitch, you sound just like your mama. The apple won't fall too far from the tree. In the shadow of your flaws and beliefs, the wind gon' blow hard enough for me to swing. I won't land too far from the tree, and I stare at the magnolias, alone, hard frozen, in between the differences of you and me. This apple fell far from the tree, still in the shadow of your flaws and beliefs. My problems, my face in the bottle, I'm acting like my father. Smoke Newport just like my father, act a whore just like my father, temper short just like my father. Sometimes I think I'm no good, an apple laying at the roots of a tree in the breeze. And you work my nerves with every single plea. I won't be moved, not trying to see the things you claim you see in me. Exploit my flaws until the sun break, till the moon rise. Two sides to this tragedy we weave, but I refuse to think the damage come from me. Or you not guilty for your creeping with whoever, or trying to see him bleed. Sound just like my father when I start making threats, and you sound just like your mama when you go on a rant. I'll be moved out by next week, hope you ain't late on the rent. Trying to make it don't make sense, ain't even making a dent. All this anger fuel, we can't get to common ground. Cause every time you start to bitch, it feel just like your mama around. The apple won't fall too far from the tree. In the shadow of your flaws and beliefs, the wind gon' blow hard enough for me to swing. I won't land too far from the tree, and I stare at the magnolias, alone, hard frozen, in between the differences of you and me. This apple fell far from the tree, still in the shadow of your flaws and beliefs. The apple won't fall too far from the tree. In the shadow of your flaws and beliefs, the wind gon' blow hard enough for me to swing. I won't land too far from the tree, and I stare at the magnolias, the long heart frozen in between the differences of you and me. This apple fell far from the tree, still in the shadow of your flaws and believe. Ooh. You got it?
Yo, I'd like to thank Gray Jackson for coming on. I finally got it right that time. I feel good about myself. Yo, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode of DNS. Yo, so for Colombian Machismo, DJ K Rico, the homie back here, Pete April. I am Joe Kitchen. This is DNS signing off.